Thank you very much for joining. And I'm doing a different experiment where I can talk and see everyone live, because at times what happens is I'm not able to catch you up on Instagram, and that's the reason I thought let's try this. So, what is the topic for today, and what is it that we are looking at? Let us see. The topic is a little off track, and I know a lot of you are um, excited to know what is happening on today's live. Hi, Janvi, for joining on. Thank you for joining on YouTube. And I'm going to see more people joining in. So let's have more. I'm going to wait for a few more minutes, or rather, a few more seconds before we move to begin with the live. I hope you all can see me. Thank you so much for joining. Both Sonals, thank you for joining. And shall we start with the topic now? I think this is something which is very, very, very big realization which I had. And this was about 4 to 5 years ago when I did my first Access Foundation class. And there was something about happiness which said that in this reality in which we live, if you are happy, it's something weird about you. Okay, so I remember the first thing I realized in access consciousness was being happy is a choice. Okay, so they say that in access consciousness, they say that if you're happy, people think you're mad or you're on drugs, but if you're sad, it is considered normal. Now, that was something which was like, yes, yes, yes. I know this is something which I have always believed in, because I used to be always happy for no reason, and people used to believe, Pagal hai kya? Are you mad? And in order to fit into this reality, we start living with a point of view that we need to be sad. And the sadder we are considered more normal. And the happier we are considered weird. And that's the reason, this particular section on Wednesdays, which is the Wednesday lives which we have, which is Weird Wacky Wednesdays. Why is it named as Weird Wacky Wednesdays? Because we talk everything about being weird. Are you weird? Because I know I am weird, and I was always a misfit in the normal world, like the Muggle world, and I always felt there was something wrong with me. And most of the times, what I used to receive from people was, just don't be so happy. So there were two things which I used to hear. One was, if you're being happy, कुछ कुछ तो गड़बड़ है आप में. या फिर if you are very happy, the other thing which I heard from people was that don't be too happy because something bad will happen. We are really afraid of being happy. Most of us are afraid of being happy, and most of us believe that if you are happy, something bad will happen. Don't laugh too much, because if you laugh too much, you will cry too much in some time. Have you heard that? I know many people have told me this when they come for my classes. A lot of people tell me that you shouldn't be very happy, because if you're very happy, kuch to hoga, Also, when I share case studies in my classes about how using the tools of access consciousness, good things have happened. Okay, for example, how have I got um, my financial reality change, or how have I gotten opportunities, or how do clients magically come to me? When I talk about this, people who are sitting in the class say, touch wood, God bless, maybe things will keep happening. And I tell them that the biggest myth in this reality is that you can't be happy, and there will be something which will happen and things will go bad, or things will go sour and happiness will not stay. But what if I tell you that your point of view creates your reality? And the more you believe that happiness is a choice, the more you will keep creating happiness. And the moment you get into the wrongness of you for being happy, what happens? What is the wrongness of you? I talk often about wrongness and strongness because many times we are made wrong for just being us. Okay, so there was a very beautiful, detailed there's a very beautiful, detailed topic in the Choice of Possibilities class, which I did earlier this May, which talks about how we are made wrong by people and we judge ourselves for being us. What is being us? Being us is simply being the authentic version of you. What is the authentic version of you? You unfiltered. You who is the core person who you are, the person who doesn't need to change himself or herself to fit in. How many of us are aware of that? I think most of us are not aware that there is an authentic person within us who is willing to just be, just exist. We believe that this reality makes us believe in we being something else. And you're always there trying to keep people around you happy, trying to please others, be it family, be it friends. You always, many people tell me, I know a lot of women tell me that when I ask, in classes we talk about, okay, what makes you happy? What are three things which you could choose to make you happy? And they say, I want my husband to be happy, I want my child to be happy, I want my parents to be happy, and that makes me happy. Wow. And I always say that this actually exactly is what codependency looks like. When we keep our happiness based on others happiness or based on how others feel about their life, and when we hold ourselves responsible for them and their happiness, tada, you are going into the codependency mode. Okay, so that's a big red flag. So what makes you happy is being you. And but rarely, I think there are very few people who really know who they are at an authentic level, because most of us have unconsciously, subconsciously made ourselves fit into this world so that people like us, because we believe that man is a social animal, we live along with people and we need to be happy. We don't want to upset others, even if that means upsetting ourselves. And then we think that this life is bad. But the thing is, if you are not making choices, if you're not making choices to empower you, to make yourself happy, how will you even keep others happy? And that's exactly what is this reality about, because we move around the whole context of keeping everyone around us happy. Okay, now I'm going to talk about an amazing fact which will just change the way you are thinking right now. But before that, I'm just going to say hello to everyone who is watching. So, and 1406, Edi, Edatir, Sabita, thank you so much for joining, guys. I hope you all are doing well, and I hope you're enjoying this live. And for all of you who are watching me on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn, if I'm not able to see you, please say a hi. That's the reason I tell you that, especially if you are my participants and my students, if you're watching, please say hi, Ashwini, and drop your name so that I know who is watching, because I'm streaming this video on multiple apps. So if I miss out, I'm still saying a hi to you. Also, for everyone who is going to watch the video as a repeat telecast. What is the word for that? I'm not getting the word for that. As a replay. Thank you for watching. You can even write hashtag replay if you are watching it later. It doesn't matter if you're watching this now. It doesn't matter if you're watching it later. It doesn't matter even if you're watching it 10 years later. I'm going to say hi to all of you and thank you so much for watching. And it's not over, the video is not yet over. Thank you is just expressing gratitude in advance to all of you who are watching this video. So thank you. I'm just coming to the tools which I would love to talk about. So I'm not going to actually discuss any tools, but I will be sharing a few tips for you in order to make that make that change in your system and everything changes. Okay, all right. So what if, as I said, what if you're unnecessary holding on to the energy of sadness? So I always ask people, what is the value of holding on to sadness? When people come and tell me, this is happening in my life, and there is so much going on, and I don't know what to do, and can you please help me with something? The only question I ask them is, what is the value of not choosing happiness, and what is the value of holding on to sadness? They say, no, I'm not holding on to sadness. To be aware of your feelings is one thing, but when we are holding on to sadness, we keep moving in circles. We don't move in waves, we keep moving in circles. And many times we believe that if we are happy, we will be judged for being happy. How many of you were told, like as I said at the beginning of my talk, how many of you were told that don't laugh too much, don't be too happy, or happiness is a myth? I was told by so many friends that, up tak your life has been easy because things have been good, but wait, there will be one day where your life will be terrible. I was scared when I heard that. Trust me, I had, friends and co-workers, also colleagues, people at work, people in college and university, in my MBA school, used to tell me that there will be time where everything will be sad. And I was scared, as a teenager, as a young adult, even until very recently, I used to be really scared. But with the tools of access consciousness, one thing I realized was your point of view creates your reality. Your point of view creates your reality. Maybe write this sentence down somewhere. Whatever you project, whatever point of view you have about life, you create your reality accordingly. How do we create our reality? Because if we believe that something will happen, it will happen. Are our thoughts so powerful? Of course they are. How do we control those thoughts? So, this is a very interesting thing which most people ask me. I feel very stressed. How do I control those negative thoughts, that negative thinking? So, there are different ways of doing it. Many, many, many ways of doing it. I've tried all possible ways. So, because I began my journey into the spiritual learnings as a student, as a healer, and all of that, eventually finding access consciousness. So before I found access consciousness, I tried everything, and I ended up spending a lot of time running in circles. So there are different ways you could do. You could try and write those feelings down. You can try meditation, but many people say that when I try to meditate, when I sit to meditate, thoughts pop up in my head. What do I do with that? So I tried everything, and the first time I got my bars run, which is the access bars, 32 points on my head, which, when gently touched, can dissolve, dissipate any energy which does not hold for you, which you didn't really require, limiting beliefs, all of that. So the moment I started running my bars, I actually started feeling very light. It was the first time in many years, at least in 15 to 20 years, where my my monkey mind just stopped. And I was like, wow, what is this? And why didn't I know about this before? That was what I felt in my first Access Bars class, because that was the first time I got my bars run. And also I did learn a lot of amazing verbal tools. Verbal tools, of course, are one of the most potent things in access consciousness. However, when I got my bars run, those thoughts just stopped. Now, many people, I always tell this to clients who see me that if your mind is just going too much, and there are whatever you've been told that this is what is happening, that is the reason you are thinking this and all of that. But the moment you get your bars run, a lot of things start shifting in your mind. A lot of thoughts just go away, and there are scientific research which say that your brain waves slow down. So that was the first time I really had this aha moment. Coming back to sadness. So we are told that happiness is not permanent. In fact, I saw one of the triggers why I made this live talk was one of the very well-known celebrities in India. Recently, there was a clip which went viral where the celebrity says that everyone is sad from inside. They only appear to be happy from outside, and that made me feel, wow, that's really interesting because our point of view create our reality. Also, when I say what is the value of holding on to sadness, most of the reason why we are holding on to sadness is because we want to fit in. We just want to be like everyone. Because if we are the only one happy, we will not fit in. When we go for, say, parties, get togethers, everyone is talking about their problems. Everyone talks about, oh my God, this is the problem which is going on in my life. And if they ask you what's up and you say, everything is so cool, everything is so good, they say, ah, झूठ बोल रहा है. कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, the person is very secretive. And that's the reason people will, if 10 people talk about what's wrong with their lives, someone's mother-in-law is troublesome, someone's boss is troublesome, someone's job is not going good, someone has a problem, blah blah blah, and people talk about all of that. And now it's your turn, and you're the only one who is smiling and who is saying things are awesome, things are great. How will you fit in? Probably they will not call you next time for the party or for the get together. Doesn't that happen? I think this is what a lot of people have told me who come for classes, that but everyone is sad, right? But you can change that. It's just a choice away. And once you get your Barcelona, a lot of people say that, okay, when they hear me talking, they really feel, oh, does it really work? And when they actually come and experience the bar sessions, or they come for bars classes and it is something which changes their whole world, their life absolutely changes. So, well, in access consciousness, among the 10 commandments of access, or what they call as the 10 keys to total freedom, there is a beautiful book by Gary Douglas on that 10 keys to total freedom. And it's a very powerful, very potent book. And it talks about the 10 commandments, or the commandments of access. I don't have any other words for it. So in that they say that don't listen to, tell in, or buy a story. What do you mean by that? When someone is so stuck in their story, why do people use stories? People use stories to stay stuck, so that they cannot choose beyond that, so that they can validate that why they are sad. And once you have a reason why you are sad, you'll keep replaying that story again and again and again and again. What do you get? You just get sympathy, probably, but does it really empower you? And I always say that if you are if you are someone who, how do you want to be known as? As someone as, oh, poor thing, they are going through so much, he or she is going through so much. Do you want to be known as that, or do you want to be known as someone who inspires people? So please understand that happiness is just a choice away. Secondly, what is the reason you're holding on to the sadness? If you're watching it and if at some point of time you are aware that you are sad, so again, I'm using the words, you're aware that you are sad because you're not actually sad, but you think you are sad. You think you are sad because of a lot of things. And once you realize that happiness is just a choice away, and you drop all those stories which keep you stuck in the sadness, you will change your life. So ask yourself this question: what is the value of holding on to this sadness? And if that is, putting you in a state of too much thoughts, too much happening, I can suggest that get your bars run. When you get your bars run, all these energies will dissipate, and it is a life changing thing. I think it's something which I cannot express. You have to experience it. I always talk about this in my lives, and in everything, in every live I make, every video I make, especially if it is for someone who is watching my videos for the first time, that it's something which you have to experience. You can only whatever I'm explaining or whatever I'm putting in front of you in form of a video or in form of a graphic or maybe an article, it's just 10%. The 90% is something you have to experience yourself. And if after watching this video you feel called, where what is the next step you could take is choose an access bars class, and I think that is something which will change your life forever. So, well, I am here to take up any questions if you have. And in the meanwhile, I'm also going to say hello to all people who joined me later. Okay, hi, Silky Healer. Thank you for joining. I'm seeing you after a long time. I hope you are well. Hi, Meda Kaki. Hi, Sandeep Munipalli. Thank you for joining. Also, hi to everyone who are going to watch this as a replay again on YouTube and Facebook. I really don't know who are you all who are watching. I can only see the number of people viewing it, but if you could drop your names, I know who is watching so that I can say a hi, and I will be happy to take any question. Any questions? Any? Hi, Ashwini. My namesake. I hope you are well too. Thank you for watching. I'll be keeping the next 1 minute for questions, if any. And if there are no questions, we can definitely call it a day. I think today's live, it was the least planned live. So I was not sure till 5 o'clock that I was going to do a live. So I couldn't inform many of you, but in spite of that, who all joined on short notice, or if you feel you just bumped into this video, you were meant to be here. And how did I get so lucky to inspire you and to be a part of your journey? So, well, if there are no questions, we are going to call it a day. And we will be seeing you next week, next Wednesday, on yet another very, very powerful live. And we will be talking on another interesting topic. And for all of you who are asking me when is the next Access Bars class, the next Access Bars class is 26th and 27th November. And before that, there are a few introductory classes. Get in touch with my team. You can drop a DM if you're watching on Instagram, or if you're watching me on YouTube, Facebook. I'm going to add details of how to get in touch to know about the next live, the next class. Janvi, thank you so much for watching and thank you for writing that. I'm sure this will benefit you all who are watching. And please don't forget to share it with family and friends. For anyone who is looking for any kind of support, mental health, emotional wellness, any kind of support, please share this video with them. Thank you so much. Bye bye.